Well, it's been a while since we have IWTR World of the Series race in Season 3 due to the season reset, basically, where the first two races before the season reset, well, there's a lot of chaos on it. So, we're now gonna reset the whole season, and now we're back for the South African Grand Prix at the Kyalami circuit. But it's the 2014 version, which is the version it's a little bit shorter, if you ask me, than the versions that we pretty much used to now. So let's see what happens. I'm your host and your commentator, Pausa here, as we will have a ridiculous 28 lap race. It's not really ridiculous because it's 40% race distance race. So I hoped that the season wouldn't go as bad as the season opener that we already have in the season 3 before the reset. So, well, new things for this season and the season reset, that is, we have to say goodbye to the V8 because we're now using the turbo hybrid V6 1.6 liter. So yeah, we're moving eras to the current eras that we used to now, and there's a lot of changes in the team after the season has been resetted. So let's give you a little bit of rundown of who's now in which team. So let's start off with Red Bull. So Red Bull, initially I kind of forgot who they have before the season reset, but now they having Sepp Leps, the German that is going out before the season 3 resetted. He doesn't have a ride, but now he returned back on Red Bull number 3 basically. So it could be a wild one for him, so we wish him for the best of luck. And another Red Bull on the other side, that is I continue with owner base. Well, I think initially he was at Mercedes. Now he's jumped ship to Red Bull. But he landed pretty quickly today. He will start third, and his teammate will start in P1. Now moving on to Ferrari. Ferrari alongside over here, which is Zoe Petrozan. He was at the Lotus last season, and now he's moving up to the prancing horse of Ferrari now. And the other guy that we're going to talk, and the other guy that was coming to the team, it was Walter Wagner, the rookie. He will, well, it's a pretty, I mean, not a good start for him for his rookie year. So we'll see what happens with him today. Well, he will start 18th while his teammate will start 2nd today. Now, next up we have McLaren. Let's have a look at the back first. So that is Alex Nazani in the number 4. Well, yeah, in the number 14. And also his teammate, which is Tin Anderson. He's moved to McLaren now, which he is over here. And he will lines up in, well, 10th position, while his teammate will start from the back due to the crash earlier in the qualifying session. And moving on into the next team, we have Lotus. Well, the Thai driver is now coming back. That's Panos Glazos. After he thought that, well, he's out of ride before the season reset, now he came back on Lotus team, and he'll be partner alongside, well, it's Flondre Wilson, another rookie on the line here, which she will start in 4th place. She was with Lotus before the reset of the season 3. Well, she got the same right. Well, congratulations to her, I guess. Yeah. Now moving on to Mercedes. This will be the one to watch team because in the real life they have won the championship in the 2014 season. This is the 2015 cars though, so this team could be one to watch. But in terms of the IWTR history, Red Bull are the ones to watch. But yeah, it is will we drive by Zed and Kaya, which is a rookie, and Adiabakis. Apparently, he moved up to the number 6 Mercedes car now. So we'll see what happens, and we sure hope for the best of luck for these two guys, and also the rest of the pretty much a whole field. Sauber, meanwhile, they have Mitch Johnson, who was with Red Bull before, and now he's moving to Sauber, apparently. And alongside him is Prem Pilch. Prem Pilch, well, he starts 19th today. He had a crash early on in qualifying session, but well, it could be interesting pairings of these two guys. We'll see what happens. Now into the Force India team, we have Mihaly Savak in number 27, and alongside him, the teammate is Henry Jack Browns. I mean, this could be another interesting pair. So now with Williams, they have an all new lineup. It's both rookies. So it is Dylan Hope and Charles Vasquez. So these two rookies, how are they gonna fare with pretty much the more established drivers here? We'll find out. It's gonna be a hell of a fun, I think. And we're moving on to the Scuderia Toro Rosso, which this team, it's kind of lacking in pace in the last season, but now they came back. It is Simon Vitt, the reigning world champion. He will drop down from Red Bull, the car that he pretty much, well, get the championship with, and now he's dropping back to their sister team now with Toro Rosso, and he will be joining alongside Luca Farina. They had a little bit of battle before in the Season 2 title fight, so I mean, rivalries gonna come up? I don't even know, but we'll see what happens for both of them. And lastly, it's the MANOR MARUSSIA F1 team. We have Matthew Falcon, who was with McLaren before in Season 2, and finally we'll round it off with Noah Tuamela, which is another rookie in this season's field. So that's all it is for the whole lineup of this track. Well, let's go have a look at the track info now that we introducing the drivers, the quick recap of who's now in which team. So it is time for the track info. So it's the Kyalami circuit located at Midrand, Gauteng, South Africa, just north of Johannesburg. It is opened in 1961. Now we're using the 4.26 kilometer circuit. As I mentioned before, we're using the 2014 layout of it. Well, basically the version that we have a IRL Grand Prix in real life, basically. Well, in 92 and 1993 for Formula 1 though. And they also host Kyalami 9 hours, but I think not really in this layout for GT. Previous winners. Oh, by the way, the track is the 4.26 kilometer circuit, 2.4 miles. It now has only 13 corners and 8 to the left and 5 to the right. Meanwhile, the previous winners, where we have John Blanc in Season 1 with Mercedes, and Season 2 we have Isaac Rashore for Lotus. Could they repeat the same dominance, or maybe same performance from the last season? We'll see what happens though. Well, let's have a look now. With those things out of the way, let's have a look at the starting grid now that these cars will roll out for formation laps. So, whoops, the frame rate's a little bit down a bit, but let's have a look. So on pole position today, it is Akatini Bivona lining up on pole position today, and Zurich Partizan lines up second place alongside him. Sepp Lips and Flonje Wilson, they both gonna line up in third and fourth. In row 3 we have Mitch Johnson and Simon Witt, the reigning world champion. And then Zed Ankaya and Henry Jack Brown lines up in row 4. Row 5 it's Panos Glazos and Tin Anderson. Then Dylan Hope and also Charles Vasquez were lined up in row 6. Basically it's the Williams row. Matthew Falcon and Diabakis were lined up 13th and 14th. And next up we have Luca Farina and Noah Turmella, the rookie, as I mentioned before, in row number 8. Row 9 it's Mihaly Slovak and Walter Wagner in the Ferrari in row 9. And then in last row it is Preben Pilch and Alex Nazani. They didn't set any lap times at all in the qualifying session because they have been taken out between each other, so we'll see what happens in this race. And also a quick note that we're changing the platform to Automobilista, because I think that this game probably has maybe a bit of racing, but racing. So we hopefully that it gonna have a better racing than R Factor 2's counterparts. So now these drivers will now lined up through the grids, and you can see that this track, yeah, you can see that it's an older version, but hopefully there's gonna be quite a battle here for the first round. 28 laps of action here with 40% race distance. We should have some awesome racing here. So now our cars lined up. We're gonna speed up the progress a little bit. And now all cars lined up. I'm gonna skip a little bit. And here it goes now. It is 4 lights. 4 sets of lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's green in Kailami. We're starting the IWTR World Football Series Season 3 now. And it looks like Bivona getting a bad start a little bit. But it's a 3 wide going into turn 1. And oh my goodness me. And Pedrojan round the outside takes the lead of the race already. What a beautiful move. Oh, we got a damaged car. And that's going to be a big one. The tires coming off. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. So that's the start. Let's have a look at the start real quick. So here's have a look at the start. So yeah, everyone just goes fine, but then you can see that is, well, I think Cliff's just getting a really good start, but he's being blocked by his teammate. But then what happens in the next over here? Oh my, whoa. So it looks like, oh, well, Glazos, yeah, he just couldn't brake, and it hits on the back of, I think that was Zed and Kaya. That was a rookie. What a rookies. Well, already being taken out by Panos Glazos. And that's not that one Mercedes out already. Oh, there goes another one. That's all. I think that's Glazos. Yes, it is. He spins around. Oh no. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get rid of this car. Okay, hopefully that will get rid of the car, but it is Zurich Partizan leading the race now. Bivona in second place, Plebs in third, and what happens behind? Nothing happens behind here. Oh, Vasquez has a front wing. front wing damage as well. What happened here? So I think it might be distant. Oh, he just hit right behind his teammate. With the shenanigans at the front, well, he just couldn't do anything, doesn't he? He just hit the back of his teammate, and now we have 2 front wing loss guys and 1 retirement, apparently. But it's still looking fine though, and maybe a little bit of battle there. And Dylan Holt, actually Pilch, he lines up on the I think on the last or the second last row, and he's pretty much gaining position because of that shenanigans. Wagner goes up to 14th now. The gap's pretty stretched out, and gap's kind of spread out quite a lot. But Petrosyan has pretty much a second lead over Vivona. And then on the back, that's Mitch Johnson. I mean, it's becoming a trend a little bit, to be honest. The gaps is quite far between each other. But Petrosyan leads with lap number 3 now. 2 laps complete. So Vivona, let's have a look on board with him. That's right behind on the back camera. Yeah, it seems like maybe the Red Bull's a little bit struggling on the cornering, so, but you can see that's Mitch Johnson trying to catch up to the field now. Let's have a look at the back. It's now having a little bit of train here going on. That's Browns, Backus, Anderson, and then Hope. And oh, that's a little bit going wide there, the Noah Tomella. Now into the tight left, the double right-hander. See, oh, there's a move making on the back. That's Alex Zani going down inside on the Manor of Falcon. He takes it and goes into 16th place now. Gap is pretty much closing up on the back of the field. Meanwhile, at the front, it's not really that much, to be honest. Oh boy, it's just only lap number 4, so anything could happen still. That's Bivona sitting the fastest lap time, 1:19.9. And then Backus still in 9th place, the only Mercedes left now in the field. You can see on the back there is Wagner making it. Today is his race debut. He's doing fine so far in 14th, but I don't know if he could catch up at all to the front. So let's see, but going quite fast, to be honest. Which is only lap before though, but you can see Wagner just pulling everything now into this corner, turn 11, and oh, maybe you can see that's a move up front. That's McLaren. Yeah, that was one of McLaren's, Tim Anderson, trying to go for a move, and oh, there's the yellow flag. That's I think that's Simon Vitt. Plebs getting a faster lap time, 1:19.8, and that is Simon Vitter. What on earth even happened to him? He just slid off. So let's have a look here. So he messed up on the final corner. Not sure what is that all about. So here he goes now, just into the final corner. Oh, the brakes just gone. Oh, but thankfully, he might have just only a minor damage to his car. He still continues fine, but he's dropping back from possibly 6th down to the 14th now. But you can see there is a Red Bull still can't even catch up to the Ferrari though. The Ferrari of Pedro Jean. So he leads for quite a while now. It's almost 6 laps now. Oh, Glazos gets the fastest lap time, even though he's way far behind from the field. I mean, he does have some clean air to work with, so that might be the case. So he's get the lap time of 119.688. Everything seems fine now. Oh, look at the Sauber, Mitch Johnson. He's closing the gap on Plebs. He might have a chance for the... Oh, he don't want to go for it. He might have messed up, just like what Vit did a lap earlier. It still looks fine. And you can see that Savakit setting a fastest lap time now, 119.52. He's now in 6th place right now, but he's way far behind from Flongery Wilson to even get a slipstream. I mean, it's quite hard to pass even in this layout though. We already seeing that the 2019 version of the track it's quite hard to pass, except at the front stretch. But this version of the track, it's just a sweeping left, actually right and then left, goes through up into turn 3. So I mean still it is quite a hard track to pass though. Or maybe just run down to this corner, turn 11. Maybe run down to this corner and then maybe go have it down the inside. But the pit stops will actually come into play in this season though. And you can see that Savat setting another fastest lap time of a race, 119.5. So it's all about the strategy now. Now that the car still is all spec cars. But there you can see that back at the front though, it is Pedro Sedan still leading the race. Bivona in 2nd, Plebs in 3rd. They're doing pretty much quite well so far. Let's have a look on board with Mitch Johnson and Glazos another fastest lap time, 119.4. He started 9th, but he drops down, because of the shenanigans on the first lap. He dropped down 9 positions from his starting point. Mitch Johnson, meanwhile, he's doing okay so far. He just only up one position from his starting spot, which is 5th place. But, I think we're now going to see some strugglings on the tyres now, since, the tyre compounds in this season were, I think, maybe a little bit softer than the last season's one. There's Savak 119.2 going to 19.2 territory now. Well, unlike the last season where we just only have like a tyre change only, this season meanwhile we have a pretty much, a field refueling as well on the track. So it could set up a little bit of interesting strategies here. So we're now on lap number 8, still with 1 retirement and 2 crashes, but still the orders hadn't changed much. So it's all about the pit stops now for these guys. So now Pedrozan still in the lead, a comfortable 2 second, and then Bivona in 2nd place, and then Plebs in 3rd. Johnson in 4th, Flandre Wilson in 5th, Savag in 6th place. So they're actually closing up to Flandre Wilson now. And you can see the Ferrari making a fast lap and then it being overtaken by Bivona 119.109. So now we're starting to see maybe some of these guys will maybe making a pit stop now. But there you see the tires are getting a little bit more because the tire wear is pretty high because we're in South Africa. So the tire wear should be quite possibly a bit high. So now Anderson still right behind Henry Jack Brown though, who was in 9th place. He just couldn't quite catch up over here. You can see that it just gotta go uphill and then it kind of loses a little bit of traction here. There goes he closing up to the Force India so much. And you can see that Dylan Holt in 11th place. I mean, he's still following him. Lap 10 of the race now. And you see that there it is. The pit window is actually open now for some of these guys. Maybe some will go for the tires, some will go for the tire and fuel. But there you can see maybe Savard is probably the first guy to go into the pits. Yes indeed. So the top 5 not coming in yet, but Savard is going to be the first to lead them down. And oh, we have, and that is Wagner losing a front wing. What happened? Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I think that may be at the first or maybe second corner. So let's see what happens here. So it was, oh my, oh wow. So I think that was one of the Williams. I think that was Dylan Hope. I think it is Dylan Hope. So I think he. So he's tried to brake, but then hit the back. I think that's probably Anderson, and he spun off. And then you can see that that's two separate incidents then. Because Wagner, he couldn't brake as well. He couldn't brake in time as well, and then he just hit the back of the Sauber of Prem and Pilch, and then he just collects Dylan Hope as well. And oh man, he barely avoids that. Simon Vitt, he barely just avoids it, but Nizani, he lost the whole front wing carbon fiber. But then you can see that Tuamela also getting caught of it, and oh, that's Falcon also losing the front wing as well. And that's just quite a chaos there. Quite a chaos there, and oh my, oh, and Glazer's losing a front wing again. So now they're gonna have to be careful now, because on turn 3 there's gonna be a lot of debris on the track. But 2 cars retiring now. But yeah, as I said, top 5 is not pitting, but Savat will be the first man to go into the pits, and oh, it goes, oh, it hit the wall a little bit. I hope that it won't hurt his performance after this. And Brown not pitting yet. He's gonna go up to 6th. I think he may be gonna pit this next lap. So Savak 6.9 seconds. I think it's not bad, but he's gonna come out. He just come out in front of Farina. Then you can see that's Pilch going to the pit stop. it would be how much minutes that he gonna get. Oh, he's got a really bad stop there. 10 seconds. But Wagner 10.26. Falcon meanwhile 10.36. So it's quite a bad pit stop for them. And now the top 5. Oh, Pleb's closing in. He's closing in on his teammate now. Is he gonna make a move? Oh, he does not gonna make a move. He doesn't go for it. Doesn't want to go for it. But Mitch Johnson, he's also not pitting yet. Meanwhile, the others were already into the pits. Now Petrosyan goes into the pits now. Over there you can see that's Johnson and Flandre. They're still going out. So they have to pit this lap now. So it is Petrosyan just go out, and then Plebs goes out in front of his teammate. So a little bit of jump there in the pit lane. So now Plebs is in front for the Red Bull team. So that actually still comes out in 6th, and then he overtakes his teammate as well. Farinas goes 8th, back is 9th, and then Anderson 10th. Here comes Tuamela now into the pits. Where does he gonna come out? Nizani, oh, that's gonna be another 10-second. Yes, it is. What about Tuamela? Oh, it's gonna go 10.8 seconds. That's just horrendous there. Vasquez not even going back to go to the pits. But you can see that's Glazer now going to the pit lane. And now finally Johnson goes into the pit lane. And Flandre, she's still staying out. At this rate, I believe maybe she might not have enough to go back and go to the pits. She's gonna stay out, but she's go out to get a faster lap time, 1:18.8. But would it be enough for her to go back to the pit lane? And oh, here it goes now. Mitch Johnson is getting real close there. But I think Petrosyan still holds it, but he jumped both of the Red Bulls. So now Johnson is pretty much the net leader of the race. And as I was suspected, there is Flandre Wilson stopping at the side of turn 4. That was a heartbreak for Wilson. She knew she wanted to stay out. She wanted to come back. She wanted it to stay out, but you could see that. Yeah, the engine just got cut it, and she just lined up alongside the track, and that's gonna be her 3rd retirement of the race because of the fuel, and she wasn't having enough. So now everyone's gonna get a free position now that she retired because of the fuel. So now it's Petrosyan actually leading the race now with Johnson in 2nd, Plebs in 3rd, and then Bivona in 4th. But there you can see that, oh my, you can see that now Vasquez, she's coming out to the pits. And he's just right behind Glazos, I think 4 seconds. There you can see now. It's spreading out again. It definitely spread out again. Maybe a lot more than before the first round of pit stop, but I think the action may be still there. Maybe though. And now you can see that's Bacchus. He was trying to close a gap on Farina, but that might not. I don't know if that's gonna happen at all though. Because like I said, it is a quite hard track to pass. Maybe you're just gonna have a good run down into this corner here, basically in turn 9, turn 10. If you were close enough to the guys in front and then you get a slipstream, maybe you have a chance to overtake on this corner, but if you're too far enough, you're gonna stay pretty much grinding for a good time, or even... Oh, speaking of battles, here he goes. Bacchus goes down the inside and he takes P7 now on Luca Farina. Like I said, it just happens as I was saying it already happened there. So now Farina just right behind him now. He's gonna get maybe getting a decent point for Mercedes. Wait, Toro Rosso I meant. But for Dia Bacchus though, he goes up to 7th now. He's the only Mercedes guy on the track right now. So we may never know. He might be able to push up and then goes right behind Henry Jack Brown and then maybe even overtake more cars. But we're now about we're pretty much halfway through the race. It is still Petrosjan in the lead from the first round of pit stop, and then Johnson in second place, jumping both the Red Bulls of Plebs and then Bivona respectively. Then Mihaly Savard will currently now in 5th, and then his teammate Henry Jack Brown is in 6th. And then, like I said, Bacchus in 7th, and then Farina in 8th, Anderson in 9th, and then Simon Witt now rounding out the points position right now. But I mean, it won't stay for long because we have a second round to pit stops though. You see these guys still closing up, but still no safety cars were being shown though. Still no safety car, which is a good thing, so it's still keeping the flow of the race still going on. Let's have a little on board with Petrosjan. So here you can see that's turn 9, and then you're gonna lose a little bit on the uphill, a little bit of uphill and then downhill into the turn 9 and 10, and then goes into the turn 11. She's quite a tight one. Then into turn 12, and then finally goes into the hairpins into turn 13. He's still doing fine though. Still doing fine, doing pretty much perfect right now for the positions at the front. But there you can see now that is Sepp Plebs closing the gap now to about 0.8 of a second. So it's really close now. And also the Force India of Savard actually closing up to the Red Bull as well. Oh, and I think that was Farina was trying to overtake Bacchus though. Now it's closing. I mean, these guys are closing up the gap a little bit, just a bit. So now on board with Plebs. Yeah, you can see that he closed up on turn 9, but then you can see that he's quite slow coming off the turn 8, and then into 9, and then actually that's turn 9 and then turn 10, and then this is turn 11. So he's basically quite slow coming off from, well, turn 9. See now it's closing up, so it's Petrosjan still in the lead. Mitch Johnson getting a little bit pressurized by the Red Bull of Plebs. Then Bivona in 4th, and then Savard in 5th. Brown in 6th, Bacchus in 7th, Farina in 8th. And then Anderson in 9th, and then Witt still in 10th though. Pilch actually just outside of the points, and he's playing a little catch-up game to Vit right now, because Vit is the last point scorer in the current situation right now, and also Wagner managed to close up the gap now. I think last few laps it was like about 4 seconds. Now he's dropping down to like 2.9 seconds now. You can see now that's and he's closing up. You can see that Savard closing up quite a lot. But there will be another round of pit stops there, so we have to wait for that. So you can see that's Farina even more closing to a lot closer to Diabakis there. LOTUS, I think a little bit of grass smoke's coming off there. Turn 2, I believe. Actually, that's turn 2. And you see that's Nizani. It was his best lap actually, 1:19.3. Probably his personal best. But, yeah, still three retirements in this race. I mean, it's looking okay so far. Not like in the last season where we have a lot of crashes just because of these guys. Well, they just crash everywhere. But now it's still no safety cars, but we have 3 crashes though, but they didn't bring out the safety car. So that's it's quite. I mean, yeah, and it's quite hard to pass, and these guys probably couldn't do anything, and you can see that's Luca Farina losing the gap. He's dropping way back here. So lap 20 now. Only about 9 laps to go. Oh, that's Plebs going wide, and that might give his teammate a little bit close up. So, but the fastest lap time still stay with Flondra Wilson. Nobody's beaten her lap time yet. Yeah, he's quite slow coming off of this corner. Oh, made a little bit of mistake, and that might give a chance to Mihaly Savard to close up now. He's closing up the Red Bull. He might try to go around the outside and then turn into down the inside on turn 11, and he does it. But he's running low on fuel now, but finally he's taking the move on Bivona, who is coming off on, that was turn 9, I believe. He just come off worse. He's probably struggling with the tires as well, and that pretty much cost him the chance to stay in 4th place. But now, meanwhile, it's Backus and Farina, they're also running low on fuel. Same goes with Tin Anderson, and Vit, the reigning world champion. He's still going for it. I mean, he's still flooring for it, even though he's like quite far away from the rest of the top 10. But he has to watch out because Pilch is actually catching up now. I think it was last couple of laps, it was like 2.5 seconds for that gap between him and Vit. Now he's closing up to 1.5 seconds now. Same goes with Wagner, but still, it's still pretty far away, to be honest. And there you can see that Bivona really closing the gap now. And Pedro Jean running low on fuel as well. But Johnson, meanwhile, he doesn't. I mean, he stay out longer than anyone else, so he might have the advantage, to be honest. But he might struggle because of the tire wear. There he goes, Plebs into the pits in this lap. Petrosjan still no. Savak going to the pits. Bivona goes to the pits. Brown still staying out. Same goes with Backers, but Farina gonna go in. Addison as well. Pilch as well. Wagner as well. Falcon as well. But these guys they're still not going to pits yet. But then you can see that's Vasquez. He was like, I don't know, crashing on the first lap, and then had another shenanigans, and then he's just in last right now. So now we're gonna see some battles here in the pit lane. So now the top two still staying out. Now here comes Plebs. Goes to the pits. Looks fine. It'll be a shorter stop for sure, because we only have about 7 laps to go. It will be, what time is he gonna get? 6.6 seconds. Always he's being held up a little bit with Luca Farina. But oh, he's coming out way closer. He's coming out way closer now, and Farina goes up 9th. But it's still, we still pretty much have to wait for and here it goes now. Nizani, he's gonna go to the pits pretty soon. And then Pilch in 12th. Wagner in 13th right now, I would say. And then now here it goes. Petrosjan goes to the pits, but Mitch Johnson, he's gonna stay out even longer. And oh, and that is Backers. Oi, 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 oi. I think he might have a, oh boy. I think at best probably a mechanical failure, or maybe even a few. So that, oh yeah, it is a few. Engines got cut, clips the wall, and then just wow. But his car's on the track though, but his car's on the track, but oh my. That's gonna be a dangerous part there. But now here it goes now. It is Petrosjan just coming out to the pits in front. Oh, 5.1 seconds, but where does he gonna come out? He comes out 4th place. Still right behind Plebs though, but crucially still in front of Bivona. But you can see Savak, he's just closing behind him. He's just closing behind Bivona now. Farina goes 7, Addison 8th, Vitz up 1 position, and Pilch, after starting on the last row of the grid, he's now up into the points position. Also Falcon goes at 12th, Nizani 13th, and then also Tulumela just 14th. But Vasquez still in front of well, Glazos, but now Glazos might have, oh actually never mind, because Johnson is just coming to the pits. He needs to have a perfect stop in order to stay in front of Petrosjan though. So Petrosjan just coming out to turn 12. And out into the final corner now. The final corner is going to be a little bit tricky to go for it. And 4.69, that's going to be a good stop. But is he going to come out just in front? Yes, he is. What a stop there for Mitch Johnson. 4.69. And he's in front of Petrosjan. But Petrosjan, I mean, it's a cold tie for Johnson now, but could he be able to hold on though? Well, there you can see that Savard starting 17th, he just moved up 12th position. Everyone else seems pretty hectic, to be honest. But yeah, now it's Smith Johnson in the lead of the South African Grand Prix. The Petrosian, he just on his starting spot though. So I mean, it's not a bad position for him. But man, that stopped from Johnson. 4.69, he just barely squeaks Petrosian. But oh, you can see that's before it. I think he might have just lost another position, I think. Or maybe it's actually I think he may be trying to catch up with Mihaly Savard now. He's really close. I mean, Bivona's really close, but he has to pull away. He has to slow down on the turn 1. But it's still keeping the gap as close as possible to maybe make a move after turn 9. But you can see that Savard going out wide just a little bit on the entering that corner. But Petrosian, he couldn't be able to catch up with the Sauber though. Even though yeah, you could see that the rear is kind of swerving just a little bit. Oh, and you can see that Red Bulls are slowing down. Bivona's slowing down that corner. So it's still 2 to go. As Johnson and Petrosian in stone first and second. And then Plebs in third, and then Brown fourth. Savard is in fifth, and then Bivona in sixth. And if Farina is 7th, but then Anderson goes up 8th. He started 10th, that means it's just only 2 positions gained. And then the Vit, I mean, he may drop down to 9th, but still, it is not a bad start for him in the season. But he's a reigning world champion. He lost 3 positions where he started, which is 6th place. There you can see that Serbidasani, is he be able to catch up with the front though? We're gonna have to wait and see, because we're now on to the final lap of the race. It's Johnson and Petrosian in the front, battling for the final lap. So, ooh, but I mean, Johnson had a sizable gap. Petrosian, could he be able to just close up though? Well, unless if Johnson made a mistake. And then Plebs, yeah, pretty sizable gap between him and Petrosian Brown, so he will eventually maybe take the podium there. So it is either these two now. It's 1.8 seconds, 1.7, 1.6. Oh, and now into turn 9. No problems on this corner. Oh, like, and Petrosian's losing more of his grips. Now into turn 11 now, and it looks like it is pretty clear though. And then Plebs, he's probably clear of the podium spot. But now it is round the final corner. Well, the prancing horse, he tried to catch up, Well, Peterson tried to catch up, but it's not going to be enough. Mitch Johnson takes home the win for the Sauber team. He wins the South African Grand Prix. And then Peterson comes in second place. Sepp Plebs in third. And then both the Force Indias doing a pretty good, decent job for them. And takes P4 and P5, which is Brown's just in front of his teammates, Mihaly Savak. And Bivona actually goes up 6th, and then Luca Farina almost catching up to the Red Bull. And then Anderson goes up 8th place, and then Simon Vitt, the reigning world champion, he's just only 9th place. Freeman Pilch, he's gonna score the last points that is available. And then Wagner finishes 11th. And then Falcon 12th. Nizani 13th. Tuamela 14th. And then just finally, just Vasquez still trying to catch up to the Lotus of Palace Glazers. But eventually, Glazers will finish in 15th place with Vasquez in 16th. And then with 4 retirements of the race. So what do I think about this race? I think it's kind of mediocre. There's not a lot of passes on the track, but I mean, it's all about the pit strategy of this race. So it is Mitch Johnson winning at Kyalami Circuit. So I think it's pretty fair to say that it's not the best season opener that we have so far in the last 3 seasons, but I think it's probably more bearable than the before the season resets, I think. But even though it doesn't have it doesn't have that many actions on track, but still, I think it's pretty okay race, but not a lot of actions has happened except the first laps and the pit stop strategy that these guys made. But let's recap again. It is Johnson winning the race, and then Petrosyan just comes just about a second away from Mitch Johnson. And then Plebs in 3rd, Brown 4th, Savak 5th, and then Vivona 6th. Farina 7th, and then Anderson 8th, Simon Vitt 9th, and then Prem Pilch 10th. That's the top 10, and then the rest of the field, it's Wagner, Falcon, Nizani, Tuamela, Glazos, Vasquez, Bacchus, Flandre Wilson, Bacchus, Flandre Wilson, Dylan Hoped, and Zelenkaya, they all retired on this, unfortunately, in this race. That's it for me today, and that's it for this race. Next race we're going to, well, it's the familiar territory that we all know about. It is gonna be the Malaysian Grand Prix at the Sepang International Circuit. It has played host to many of our hectic races in the IWTR history. Would it repeat itself though? I don't even know. We'll find out next week for Malaysian Grand Prix. So if you like this content, make sure to give a like, share and subscribe to the International World Tour Racing channel. And if you'd like to join this league, I'll put the Discord link in the description below. And that's it from me today. I'm Pausa, your host and your commentator, signing off for today. Goodbye everyone.